She's the 102-year-old Grand Dame of African politics. The ANC is monolithic and 20 years into democracy, still seemingly unbeatable. Its leader says it'll rule until Jesus comes back.
Long live the African National Congress, long live! The ANC will expand our already significant public employment program, and we aim to provide 6 million work opportunities.
But the organization, which was born in every street in South Africa, is seeing some of its people turn against it. The economy is stagnant and many are struggling to put food on the table. People are angry and it's starting to show. The ANC, COSATU and the SACP have worked together for decades, promising a national democratic revolution to uplift the poor. But now the alliance appears divided on economic policy. Political analyst Moeletsi Mbeki says we're seeing a new era in South African politics.
Most people don't. And the population is realizing that the economy is actually on very shaky foundations and that many people are not benefiting from the economy. Many people, in fact, are losers. They were losers in the past. They now feel that they are still losers today. So that is the big trigger of the change in South Africa.
Last month, NUMSA, COSATU's biggest affiliate, dropped a bombshell, saying it would not support the ANC in this year's election, claiming the distance between the elite and ordinary people is too big and getting bigger.
Must we not ask that he resigned to preserve the legacy of Nelson Mandela? Which that legacy was about nothing else but to serve the people of this country, black and white. That was Mandela fought for. He has taught us that in everything that we do, we must prioritize saving our own people, not ourselves.
So how did COSATU, the Workers' Federation, become so fragmented? President Stumo Dlamini admits they took their eye off the ball.
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that when you move your eye away from the ball, there's going to be a problem. Somebody will score and you will say, I didn't see. That is what has happened. But on the other side, no, in the sense that we were doing our bit at our time, and whilst others were seizing the opportunity to score their own interest goals against us.
The young are restless and some are jobless. We asked them how they felt about the country's future and its leaders.
Not less than other regions.
I think the way things are run right now is just mediocre.
At the moment, we've been reading a lot about stuff in the news, and it's a little bit scary as like a young South African who's going into the future, because there's a lot of racism and a lot of racism and capitalist rubbish that's, I think, destroying the country.
I think we're at a crossroads. I think we'd have the potential to be a lot better than we are and really compete with the top nations. But our leadership right now isn't fulfilling that potential.
What we have currently, our political parties, what they are doing now, they're looking on benefiting themselves.
I mean, as most South Africans, I feel that the government is very corrupt. And so that leaves me feeling a lot less confident about it. But I do also think that our nation is still very young and new, and so there is potential. We still have a long way to go. I mean, other nations like the USA are so old and they've had so much time to build up their economies, and I think there's still time for us to change what's going on.
South Africans will get to vote for a new government later this year. The ANC will almost certainly win easily, but some are predicting that its share of the vote will be cut sharply. If it is, that would mean Africa's oldest liberation movement will have to put division aside and listen more closely to ordinary people. How it responds will determine whether its historic mission is fulfilled. So it seems the new South Africa has had its fair share of labour pains. Some say it's not a crisis, but rather a sign of a robust democracy. Well, investors here at the World Economic Forum will have to decide for themselves. Nikki Webb-Bigicha, Davos, Switzerland.